Hello friends, welcome back. This is Amit from Magnet, and today we are going to create this awesome sci-fi engine room scene inside Element 3D. So before we start, if you are new to this channel, I recommend you to check my videos, and if you find those videos useful, please do subscribe this channel and turn the notification on. And here is the name for those people who has already joined me as a member. So if you really want to support me, you can also join me as a member. So first we create a new composition. So go to the composition and create a new composition here, and everything look nice. Maybe we set this time to 10 seconds long and just hit OK. And then go over here and right click and create a new solid for our element layer. So create a new solid and just name this as element and just hit OK. Now we go over this effect and presets and search for the video copilot element. So here is the video copilot. Just expand and just double click on this on the element, and now we go to the scene setup. So here we are in element. So first we create a plane model here. So go to this create button here, just click and select this plane model here, and here is the plane model. So now we're going to increase the scale of this plane model. So I press R on the keyboard to bring the scale gizmo here, and go to this middle portion here, and when you see all the axis turns to yellow, just click and drag to this side, and in that way you will increase the scale of this plane in every angles. Okay, now we put some assets to build the scene. So first I search for the microchip model. Here is the microchip model. This is the model that I downloaded from the Sketchfab. So just first we click on this model, and when you put this model, you will see that this model is pre-textured, but when you download this model from the Sketchfab, it will not pre-textured, and also it not comes available with the OBJ format. And when you download this model, you will get a FBX format from the side, and you need to convert this FBX model into OBJ model. So I use Blender to convert this model, and it is very easy. Just put it into Blender and just export it as a OBJ, and you also get all the texture file for this model. So if your model is not pre-textured, you just do one thing, that when you select this model and go to here, that is the model, just expand this model and you will see all these material options here. So I just enable this model, and if I enable this model, that is a ground model, and you will see when I put this model into little higher here, you will see the ground model also there, but I don't need this ground model because I'm my plane model here. So I just disable this ground model here for now. So when you select this model and expand this, you will see these material options here, and you also get all the image file for the material. So you just put those image file into its respective slots. Okay, so now I reset this position. So go to this position and just reset this. So here is my microchip model, and first I put this microchip model into this side, just like this. Okay, and also I duplicate this model. So I press and hold the Alt key and just click on the Z axis and just duplicate it onto this side. Okay, just like this. And now I'm also duplicate this model into several times. So I just select both of this model. So here is the model, and I press shift and just click on this model. So in that way you will select both of these models together, and then I press and hold the Alt key and just click on this X axis and just duplicate it here. Okay, so the position is not specific, because if we want, we can also change the position later on according to our scene. And also I duplicate this plane model also. So I press and hold the Alt key and just click on this plane model. So in that way you will select the plane model. So it is a shortcut for Element 3D. And now I'm going to put another material on this plane. So as you can see that we have the ground plane and this microchip model. So the ground plane also have its own material. So here is the material. So I click and drag into this plane model. Okay, so you will see that this material is little different. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate this plane model as well. So I press and hold the Alt key and just click and to the X axis and just drag it to this side. Okay, and you can also see that there the material is set up to little bit of specular highlight here. Okay, just like this. And if you want this, so just go to this plane model, go to this material settings, and you can change the settings from here. That is the reflectivity. If you increase this reflectivity, you will see the reflection going on here. Okay, and you can also decrease or increase the glossiness if you want, but I set it to 100%, so I get a nice shiny floor here. And you can also see that the material look very low res. It's because we turned on this draft texture, so we just uncheck this draft texture, so just click. Okay, so now you'll see that the texture look very nice. And now we're going to make a little bit more bigger room here, so we're going to duplicate our plane model into several times to fit the scene. So we just duplicate it, so press and hold the alt key and just drag the axis you want and just duplicate it. Okay, okay, so we have a big surface here, and now we're going to put all this plane into a new folder here. So we select this plane and go to the very bottom and press and hold the shift key and just select all this plane model here, just like this. Just click and it will select. Okay, and then we click on this plane model and drag it to a new folder here. So here is the folder, and we name this as, so we just right click and rename it as floor and hit OK. So this will be our floor. Okay, so now we're going to select all these microchips. So we select all these microchip here, that is the 4 microchips, and we duplicate it again. So we just hold the alt key and drag this x-axis here. Okay, so we have 8 microchips here, and now we going to make a ceiling by using these floor models. So how we do this? So first we select all this microchip model here. There's an 8 microchip model, and we select all this microchip and put it into a new folder here. So keep things organized here. So here I rename this again. So just right click and rename it microchip and just hit OK. So this will be our microchips, and now we're going to select this floor model here and we duplicate it. So I press and hold the alt key and just click on this y-axis here. So in this way you will create a nice ceiling of our model. Okay, so now we're going to put some pillar over there. So how we put the pillar? So first we create a cube here. So by using this cube we're going to make a pillar. So go to this scale option. After selecting this box, go to the scale option and just decrease the scale. And now we're going to exclude this model from this group. So just click and put it out from this group, so it will be an individual model here. Okay, so now we going to decrease the scale a little bit more, and now we put it down here. Okay, and place it here. But before we place it into its place, first we design this model. So we press R to bring the scale gizmo here, and we go to this middle, decrease the scale, and then we make it little rectangle shape. So just like this. Okay, and then we increase this Y scale. Okay, and then we press W to bring this position gizmo and place it just like this. And now we duplicate it again. So we press and hold the alt key and just duplicate it into this side. Okay, just like this. And now we're going to put the material on it. So we use the same material for the ground. So we just click and drag it to here. So you can put another material if you want, but I just make a scene that can use a minimal assets, but by the side it also look nice. So you can see that this texture is little stressed out. So we go to this box model here and go to this UV mapping here, and we going to change these settings here. So we change these settings to make it little less stretching. Okay, and when you see that the material look nice, you can stop to tweak. And also we select this box, so this box, and also we change the settings here. Okay, and also in order to make a little different, we can offset this. So just like this, make it little offset, and also offset it into this side as well. Okay, so now we're going to put another models here. So we're going to use the same model, that is the microchip model here. So we go to this microchip folder and just duplicate this model one more time. So just duplicate it and drag it out from this group, so out here. And now we going to put this microchip on these pillars. Okay, so we press E to bring this rotation gizmo here, and press and hold the shift key and just rotate this gizmo. So in this way you will snap the rotation. Okay, and then we again press R to bring this scale gizmo and decrease the scale. Okay, just like this. And then we replace this here. Okay, now you have an idea that what I am going to make here. So make a random design by using those assets. So you can make the same design if you want, or you can make your own design. So it's all depends on you. And also duplicate it one more time and place it here. And maybe we can make a 3 copy of this. So we make a 3 copies and put this model here and there. So now you'll see that our pillar looks like something like this. Okay, so all these assets are used for the pillar. So we select all this and then we put it into a new folder here. So we put it into a new folder, and again we rename this folder as pillar and hit OK. So here is the pillar model and the microchip and the floor and the ceiling. And now we going to duplicate this pillar model into several times to make a nice structure here. So we press and hold the Alt key, or first we put it this pillar into this side, just like this. Maybe here, because we have little bit space area for those wheels here. So we place it here, and then again duplicate it, press and hold the Alt key and drag the Z axis here. Okay. Okay, so you can see that it really look amazing. Okay, so now we're going to put some rotating gears over here. So for the gear model, I'm using the motion design toolkit from Video Copilot. So go under these machine parts, and here you will see all the gears model here. Okay, so maybe use this one. So we click on this and you will see that gear model is here, and you can see that it's a very big model. So we first out this model from this group. So I click and drag it out from this group here, and also we reset the position. So go to the position and reset this value, and first we decrease the scale. So we decrease the scale like this. Okay, so here it is. And now we going to put this model into another auxiliary animation channel. So because we're going to animate this model, so first we go to this model and right click and go to this auxiliary animation and set this animation channel to channel number 1. Okay, and also we're going to do one thing, that we're going to duplicate this model. Just duplicate it. Okay, and we again right click and set this auxiliary animation channel to number 2. And now we're going to decrease the scale of this gear and we reposition it here. Okay, so now you'll see that there is the main gear and the secondary gear here. Okay, and now we going to put this both of the gears into a new folder here. So it will be our gear folder. So we rename this as gear and hit OK. And now we going to put this gear model into these positions. So before we put this model, we going to again we texture it. So we're going to use the same ground texture here. Okay, and also put this texture to this small gear as well. But we can do one thing, that go to this gear model and we can rotate this just like this. Okay, So now you'll see that our gears look something like this, and now we're going to reposition it. So we place this gear into here, press E to bring the rotation gizmo and rotate it into this angle, and now we going to put this gear here. Okay, just like this. Or maybe you can increase the scale of this, so we go to this scale and increase the gear scale here, put it here. Okay, but you can see that our gears intersecting the ground floor here. So what can we do? We select this ground model here, this is the floor model here, or we can select this ground model only. Okay, and you can see that this model is here, so we going to make a little space for the gears. So we rearrange our floor again, so make a little space. Okay, and you will see that our gears are free moving. Okay, so now select this ground plane, press and hold the Alt key and select this ground plane here, and we replace this here. Okay, make sure that your gear is moving freely, so here is the enough space to rotate the wheel. And also we can select this plane and position it here. Okay, and do the same thing for this side as well. So first you select these pillars, so you select this pillar and position it here. Also do the same for this pillar. Okay, and select this floor, and if you move this floor, you will see that the floor size is very large, so we're going to decrease the floor size. So we press R and we decrease the scale from this axis, and also we position it here. But we can see that we little bit of size, so we increase the size little bit again and position it here. Okay, but when you change the scale, you will see that the texture is stretching out, so you can fix the texture as well. So we select this plane, go to this UV mapping, and we change the texture value to match the other floors here. And now we have our floor model here, so it is very easy to duplicate it. So we just duplicate it again and place it here. Okay, just like this, and also we duplicate it and place it here. Okay, so the idea behind this, that we create a position to make our wheels spin freely. Okay, now we select our gears here and we duplicate this gear into this side as well. Okay, and you can see that these pillars are so far away from the microchip, so we just bring these pillars to close to this circuit and also place it here. And you can see that here is our gears, so we select our gear and place it here and make sure that our gear plays right. Okay, and now select this plane and place it here. Okay, so now we going to select our chip model here, microchip models, and we place it little behind here, and also do the same for this microchip, and then select this pillar, also place it here, select this pillar and place it to here. Okay, so now you will understand that what we are going to achieve here. So now you'll see that some of this black empty spot here, so you have to fix this as well. So one thing you have to do that, first we disable our ceiling model here for now, because you can see that it really bothers me. So we go to the ceiling copy and just hide this for now. Now we going to duplicate this floor model here, so press and hold the Alt key, and then we duplicate it by pressing and hold the Alt key here and place it here. Okay, and now we're going to rotate this, so we press Shift to snap the rotation and then rotate it into 90 degree here, and press W again and just position it down here. And now we going to duplicate it to make to here. And now we're going to put a skull model here. So the skull model that it is the obj sequence model, and it also downloaded from the Sketchfab. So here is the model, that is the animated robotic skull. And I also make this obj sequence which I rendered from the Blender. And if you don't know how to convert a animation FBX model into obj sequence, you definitely check my tutorial on this. So the tutorial show up in the I button right now, as well as in the description down below. So here is the skull model. So I just click, and first we do that, we just drag this folder out from this group. So here is the skull model, or maybe we can drag it to at the top here. Okay, so here is the model, and you can see that it's a obj sequence. So if we press Alt and click on this button here, so you will solo this model, and if you scrub this frame, you will see that the animation here. But the end frame is set to 202, we set it to 201. Okay, and now if you see that this model is look very nice, and you can download this model from the Sketchfab, and if you want to download this obj sequence, I also gave this model in the description down below, so you will get this model from there as well. Okay, so we again make all the things appear here. And now we going to reposition this skull model into very back side here. And also we do one thing, that select this skull model and go down here and make sure that you check this optimize mesh switch here. Okay, and also we decrease the scale of this skull model, so we decrease this size and also place it here. Okay, and also decrease it a little bit more. Okay, so just fit it into here. Okay, and place it here just like this. Okay, so here is our skull model. And also do one thing, that we're going to duplicate this skull model, but in this time we are not going to use a obj sequence. So we go to this model browser here and go to this animated robotic skull and just click on this any model here. So we just click here and just hit OK, and you will see that we have this only skull model, but in this time it is not a obj sequence. And we also going to put the material over here. So we select the materials and we use the skull material over there. So we just click and drag it to this material into this slot, and also do the same for this skull face here, and also use this. But before we put the material, we decrease the scale so we can visualize here. Okay, and also use this to here, and also go to this glow model and put it here. And if you see that our obj sequence model, this left eye is not red, so we select this obj model and expand this and just turn this on. Okay, just like this. And now we select our non-obj sequence skull model here and we decrease the scale. Okay, just like this, and place it here. So press E to bring the rotation and rotate this into this side, or maybe rotate it into 90 degree here and place it here. Okay, maybe we target our model here so we can visualize our model properly and place it here. Okay, just like this, and also duplicate it here and rotate this and place it here. Okay, and do the same for every pillars here. So we press and hold the Alt key and place it here. Okay, maybe this pillar is not placed right, so we select this pillar and we place it here. Do the same for this pillar as well. Select this pillar folder and drag it here. Okay, and now we select this skull model again and duplicate it into this side and rotate this. Okay, just like this. And if you want, you can increase the skull scale to maybe 15 or maybe 20. Okay, so it's according to you that how much size you want. And also do the same for this skull as well. So select it and scale it up to 20 and place it here. Okay, so this look really cool. Okay, so we almost done here in Element 3D. So now we going to press OK. Okay, so we are back in After Effects. So first we create a new camera for our scene. So create a new camera and hit OK. And now we select our camera to reposition it. Okay, so we put our camera and now we going to make some animation on the wheels. So we go to the element, go to the group number 1, and because we put those gears into auxiliary channel, so we go to the auxiliary channels. First we go to the channel number 1, go to the rotation, and let's see that which rotation fits. So you can see that if we rotate this, the all wheels are rotate into this direction. Okay, so you can simply animate this over time, but we can do one thing, that we can put an expression here. So press and hold the Alt key and click on this stopwatch here and just type time times maybe 10. So let's see the speed. So you can see that the speed, maybe the speed is little too slow, so we're going to increase the speed. So maybe type 20 here. So it will double up the speed. Okay, so you can see that the animation looks something like this. Okay, so here you can see the small gears here. So our small gears are placed into the auxiliary channel number 2. So we go to the rotation and also we put the same expression here. So you first copy this expression, so just copy this and go to this channel number 2 and go to this Z rotation. So we press and hold the Alt key and click on the stopwatch and just paste the same expression here. But because these are the small gears, so we put a higher number here, so maybe 40. Okay, and we want these gears to be rotated in opposite direction. So we go to this expression and just before the 4 we type minus sign here. So in that way these small gears rotate into a anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so these are a little more details to our scene. Okay, so now we place our camera here. Okay, so we have our camera. Now time for lighting. So for this, go to the layer, new, and create a new light. And for now I'm using a point light here and the color something like orange type color here. Hit OK, and the intensity 2500 look nice for now, but we also change it later on according to our need. And also check that you check this cast shadow switch here and just hit OK. Okay, so now you'll see that our scene is light up totally and it's really look gross, so we have to change some settings here. So first we go to the light and press P to bring the light positions, and you can see that we don't see the light here physically, so we set all these position values to 0 to make our light inside our frame here, and here is the light. Okay, and now if we put the light little down here and place it here, and you will see that the light comes from this right side. Okay, but our scene is totally light up, so we have to change some settings. So go to the element layer and then we go to this render settings here. First we go to the physical environment and change the exposure to 0 because we don't want any light from the environment, so we set it to 0. And also increase the gamma, so maybe we increase the gamma to maybe 4. Okay, and now go down here and go to the lighting and make sure that you check this button, that is the use comp light, because if you uncheck this you will see that all lights are gone. So we have to check this button, that is the use comp light. So in that way Element 3D use the composition light here, which is the After Effects inbuilt lights. And now we go to this light fall off and we increase it the value to maybe 20. Okay, so now you'll see that our light is totally gone, and maybe we place our light. But first go to this element. When you set your light fall off to 20, maybe sometime you will see that this checkbox is unchecked. So I don't know why this happened, but if you face something like this, you just turn this on, so you will see that your light will be show up again. Okay, so place your light here. Okay, just like this, and also place light little bit down. Okay, so you will see that the actual position of the light is here, and we also get little bit of light from this side on the skull. Okay, so place our light here. Okay, and if you want you can decrease the light fall off value to maybe 15. Okay, so now we have one light here, but remember that Element 3D only recognize 8 lights at a time to cast their shadows. So we have to limit our light to 8 numbers. So first we have our light is here, and then we duplicate this light, just duplicate it, and we place our light here. Okay, and also duplicate it one more time and also place it here. Okay, so that side, this side, I mean the right side, we have this kind of orange light here, and now we also duplicate this light and place it to left side here, and we change this light color to something called bluish color, because orange and blue color combination is very nice. It's called the cold and hot combination. So we go to the light settings here and change this color to something called bluish like. Okay, and also increase the intensity of the light and just hit OK, just like this. And then again we duplicate our light and place it here. Okay, so now you'll see that it lit up our scene nicely. But if we want, we can also decrease the light count. So maybe we delete this light and change the position here. Okay, so now if we turn on the shadow, what will happen? So go to this shadow tab here and just enable this shadow switch, and you will see that I set the shadow mode to ray trace, and you only get shadows if you use the ray trace shadow, because the shadow mapping is not effective when you use the point lights. Okay, so make sure that you use the ray trace shadows. So we change this to from shadow mapping to ray trace. Okay, but when you use ray tracing shadow, your GPU will be very heavy to render. So we just turn on this ray trace shadow to visualize our shadows for now. And you also see some of the grains here. It's because the ray trace shadow sample is set to 1. If you set this to 4, you will see that all the grains are gone. So but at the same time, I set my resolution to full, so it is very heavy to work with because the render will be very high. So for now I disable the shadow when we compositing the scene. Okay, so now we see that our shadow looks very flat, so maybe we can put some of the glossy material on it. So first we go to the scene setup here and we select our skull material here. So there's a skull material, and we increase the glossiness, so it will be little bit of glossy. And also we go to the skull face, we also increase the glossiness amount here. Okay, and also we increase the reflectivity as well, little bit, not much, so maybe 20 look nice. Okay, so now we have little bit of glossy finish on the skull material. And also one thing we have to do, that we use some of the glossy boxes over here, so maybe some lights comes from the down here as well as the lights here. So for this we create a box here. Okay, this is the box, and we decrease the scale here, and we place this box over on this side, so we just place it here. Okay, and then we make it little bit of rectangle shape like this, and also we decrease the height and decrease the scale, and also we reposition it here or maybe here. Okay, but we going to use some emissive material on it, so we select this box, go to this material setup, and first we go to this illumination channel, and we increase this intensity to maybe 200 and change this color to something called orange type of color, or you can use some of the blue type of color, whichever you want, just change the color from here. Okay, and also we do one thing, that we little bit zoom out here, and also we duplicate this to here. Okay, and also we do one thing, that we duplicate this and place it here. Okay, maybe we change the position to here maybe, or we can do one thing, that we don't know where our light actually is, so we put this into auxiliary channel number 3, because we already use the 1 and 2 numbers, so in that way we can reposition it accordingly. Okay, so just hit OK for now, and you will see that our skull look really amazing with this glossy finish. And now we're going to reposition this orange box according to this light position. Okay, so how we do this, first we go to this auxiliary channels, then we go to the channel number 3, and now we reposition it. Okay, so just like this, and now you will see that how handy it is, because if you put it into auxiliary channels, you can literally change the position according to your need when you inside After Effects here. So change the light position here as well. Wow, now it look amazing, because we have this orange light in that side and it cast this light. Okay, so now we get the idea, and also we do some light over here as well. So we select this light, this one, and we duplicate this, and now we change the light position over here as well. Okay, and also duplicate one more time and press P to bring the positions, and also we place this light over here. Wow, now you will see that it really creates a nice result. And now if we enable the shadow here, so we go to the render setting, go to the shadows, and if we turn this on, but before we turn shadow, let me save my project from this time and just enable this. So we have to save our project. So now you will see that it really creates a nice result here. Okay, and you can also put some other blue kind of box over here, so let me put also. So we enable the ray tracing shadow here for now. Go to this element layer, scene setup, and also we duplicate this box, so just press and hold the alt key and just drag this axis over here into this side. Okay, but one thing, that if you change the color to blue, one thing you will face one problem, that if you hit OK, you will see that this material also changed to blue. Okay, so but we don't want this. So what will you do? So just right click over here and you will see this option, that is the duplicate replace. So just click over here and you will see that it will now an individual material, and if you change anything here it will not affect other materials. Okay, so now we go into illumination and change the color to blue here and just hit OK. And then also we do one thing, that right click, go to this auxiliary animation and change this to channel number 4. And now if we hit OK, you will see some of the blue box here, but not visible right now. So we go to the auxiliary channels, go to the channel number 4, and now if we change the position here, you will see this. Okay, and also we do one thing, that go to this auxiliary channels and channel X position, you can place this here. Okay, and also place it here. Okay, so now you'll see that for these lights, the light casting from this side and this side. Okay, so our lighting little bit done here, and now we going to do some color correction. But first, go to this element layer, go to this shadow tab here, and we just enable the shadow here. Okay, and then we go to this ambient occlusion tab and just also enable this ambient occlusion. Okay, so we have our ambient occlusion effects on, and you will see that if I turn this off, it look like something like this, and if you turn this on, and if you want, you can also change the quality presets from here to maybe high, and also increase the intensity. Okay, little bit, and also do one thing, that go this advanced option here, and we increase this AO light influence as well as the depth influence. Okay, and now it's finally time to change the resolution to half. Change this to half res. Okay, so now if we hide all these guides layers, so we press Ctrl Shift and H to hide all these markers, and now you'll see that it really creates a nice result here. So now we do some color correction. So for this, creates a new adjustment layer here, and for this color correction I am using magic bullet look effect because I liked it, and you can use any color correction tool if you want. So just I use this look effect here, and then I go to this edit option. Okay, so maybe I use this one, and when we apply this, go to this tools here, and you can use some LUTs over here as well. So I use this LUT effect and place it here, and then choose from here any LUT you want. Okay, so I'm using this one, and then we again go to this tools and this optical diffusion, apply this, and you will see that wow, instantly it creates a nice result. And I change this to chromatic bloom warm, and also we increase these highlights only, so it only affect on the highlighted areas. And if you want to visualize the highlight areas, you can go to this here, that is the preview highlights. Just turn this on, and while you change this highlights only option, you will see the highlights only. Okay, and then when you release your mouse, you will see the actual result here. Okay, and also we go to this fall off option, and if you increase this, you will see the fall offs, and if you decrease this, you will get a very diffuse light over here. Sometimes it look nice, but for now I make a tight settings here to the lights, just like this. Okay, and also we decrease the size. Okay, so this look really amazing. And last effect I want here, it is this effect. I don't know what it is called, that halation. Okay, so just put it here, and also change the preset to something anamorphic highlights, and also increase the amount, and also we increase the highlights only. Okay, and decrease the size. Okay, so it really creates a nice result, and just hit OK. So now you'll see that after this color correction, it looks something like this without the color correction, and with the color correction, it really creates a significant change to our scene. Okay, so it really creates a nice result. And also do one thing, that go to this element layer and we duplicate this element layer, and then we go over this output and we change the show option to only the illumination. Okay, so in that way it only show the illuminated part of this scene. And now we make this layer as a glow layer to our scene. Okay, so you will get nice this kind of circuit looks here. So we change this to maybe additive, and now you'll see that those highlighted parts, but you can also see that our this illumination also really popped up and it not look right. So we go to this illumination channel, to this glow layer, and we decrease this value to maybe 0.2, and now you'll see that it dim little bit. And then we select this element effect and go to the effect, and I'm using a glow effect on this, so I'm using the RGVFX optical glow, and you will see that it creates a nice glow effect. And now we increase the size of the glow, and also we decrease the amount here, and also we increase the fall off, and also increase these highlights only. Okay, so now you will see that it really creates a nice touch to our scene. Okay, without this glow effect you will see something like this. With the glow you will get this. Okay, you will see the changes over here. So, and one thing we also do, that we go to this element layer, and go to the scene setup. We turned on the reflection to our bottom surface here. So we press Alt and select this surface plane, and we then go over this reflection tab and just change this to mirror surface. Okay, so you will get some reflection over here, as well as do the same for this plane as well. Go to this effect, the reflection tab, and mirror surface. Do the same for this as well, mirror surface. Okay, so you can see that our render getting heavier. Just hit OK, and you will get some of the reflection going on here. But any changes you made on this element layer, you also do the same change to this top element layer as well. So how you do this? Select this element layer, go to this element and just copy, right click, copy, and then go over this top element layer, select this element and just paste the value. But when you paste the value, you also change this output to illumination. So go to the output and change this to illumination, and also change the illumination numbers here. So go to this illumination and change this to 0.2. Okay, so now you'll see that it creates a nice result. So this is the process for this scene setup, and now we can put some of the atmospheric effect here. So for this I am using Action Essential pack for this atmosphere. So this is the atmospheric smoke that I am going to use for this scene. So you can use any atmospheric scene, but the Video Copilot Action Essential is a very nice pack for this atmospheric effects. Okay, so we do one thing, that we have to decrease our render quality from here. So we disable our this glow element layer and go to this main element layer and go to this effect and controls. We just disable the ambient occlusion as well as the shadow here. Okay, without the shadow and ambient occlusion you can realize that how bad it look like. So the shadow and the ambient occlusion is very necessary to make your scene look nice. Okay, and also we disable the color correction layer for now. Okay, so now we're going to put some atmospheres over here and there. So first we bring this stock footage into our composition here, and here it is. And then I re-enable all the guide layers. So I press Ctrl Shift and H, and then I change this anchor position to this side. So I select this pen behind tool and then I put it here. Okay, just like this, and then I make this stock footage into 3D. So when I make this into 3D, you will see that it really goes very white is because it receive all the lights. So I press AA, or you can say double A, and then maybe I can make a little room here, and then go to this material option, and you will see the except lights. So we just turn this off. Now you'll see that it not react on the lights, and then I change the position according to our need. So maybe we can put this over here. So how we put it? So go to this main element layer here, and then we go to this element control panel, effect control panel, and we go to this utilities. Here is the utilities, and we select a 2D position here. So select it, and maybe we place it here. So just click and select the position here, and we generate the 3D null object, and this null object holds all the information on this position. So here is the null object. Press P to bring the position values, and just copy the value here. Okay, and then we don't need this anymore, so we just delete this and go to this atmospheric stock footage, press P, and then we just paste the value over here, and now you will see that it rotate to this angle. So we again press R to bring all the rotations, and just change the Y rotation value to 90 degree. Okay, and you can see the scale is very high, so we have to decrease the scale as well. So we decrease the scale, and you can see the stock footage over here. Okay, so we can place it here, but one thing you have to notice that this is very fade away, so we have to increase the visibility. So we select this and go to the effect, and go to the color correction, and go to the curve effect here. And now if you increase this slider, you will see that more contrast smoke here. Okay, so you can see that it also moving. Okay, so now we're going to tell this smoke to cast only behind this foreground elements. So how we do this? So we go to this element layer, and we duplicate this. Okay, and this element layer we're going to use the world position pass. So we bring this element layer over this atmospheric stock footage, and then we go to the output, and then we go to the show option, and we change this to world position. Okay, so now we have to rotate this mat. So we go to this Y rotation and change the rotation to maybe minus 90 degree, and now you will see our world position pass something like this. And we also going to change the position, so we change the position here, and then we also go to this matte feather, and we decrease the feather, and also we change this position here. And if you turn this feather both sides, just disable this and place it here. Okay, and also we decrease the featherness to make it little very tight. Okay, so now we going to make this to track matte on this atmospheric stock element. So we toggle this switch here and go to this track matte option, and we want the black portion to be visible, so we just make this at luma matte inverted. And now you'll see that this smoke. So this is how you can put any smoke element to your scene, just like this, and also reposition it. Okay, so you can put all the smoke over here and there, but I'm not going to do this because it is already a very big tutorial. So now we go our main element layer and go to this render settings and turn on the shadows as well as the ambient occlusion. Okay, and then we also turn on our color correction layer as well as the glow layer. Okay, so now you will understand that how it look with the smoke effects, but if you want, you can also decrease the intensity. So we can press T to bring the opacity and just decrease this. Okay, so make it little bit, not much. Okay, and okay, let me duplicate it one more time so I can show you that how it look like. So I just duplicate all this and just duplicate it, and then I select this or maybe the bottom one, and I place little behind there. Okay, and also we go to this element layer and we also change this. Okay, so now you'll see that it really creates a nice depth to our scene. And also we can decrease this and also increase the intensity. Okay, so maybe we select these lights and press T to bring the light intensity options and increase these values here. Okay, and also do the same from here. So we press T to bring the light intensity. Okay, so this is all about this tutorial, or maybe we can select this light and disable this light for now. Okay, so in that way it will create a nice vignette to our scene as well. So this is all about this tutorial. So maybe we can make a little bit of camera movement as well. So first we make this into draft mode here. So we go to the very bottom and make a draft mode here, and also disable our glow layer here. So we make this draft mode and go to the very beginning here, select our camera, and also we create a null object to animate the camera. So here is the null object, and make this null object to 3D. Select our camera and just link this camera with this null object and press P after selecting this null object. Make a keyframe here, go to the very end, which is the 10 seconds, and we can change the camera position just like this. And also we bring our camera a little down here, and also go to this camera, press R, make a keyframe to the Y axis rotation here, and rotate this to +7, and also go to the very beginning and decrease the rotation just like this. So you can see the camera movement if I make a RAM preview here. Okay, so you can see that the camera animation looks something like this. So I'm not going to render the whole scene for now, because you can see that it really makes a very long render time. So we go back to our main element layer and make this to full render here. Okay, and then we go to this element and turn this on. Okay, so this looks something like this, and if I go here, okay, so this is all about this tutorial, and I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. And if you want this project file, you can check the description down below, and you can also download all the models from the description down below. And if you make something like this, please share with me. And if you like this video, I recommend you to check my other videos, and if you find those videos useful, please do subscribe this channel and turn the notification on. So this is for today, and we will see in my next video. So till then, take care and bye bye.